Hey y'all, happy holidays. I hope everyone is having a wonderful start to their holiday season. We're just a week or so away. And before I go any further into this actual video, I want to take the time to say thank you. Thank you before I say it on any other platform, any other place. I have to start here and say thank you so much for those of you who have viewed, those of you who have liked, those of you who have subscribed, especially. I remember when I was anticipating the day that the number would finally climb to 100, and it finally did. Now today I'm up to 204 subscribers, and just a very short time here on YouTube. I understand that it is an uphill climb, but I am enjoying every minute of it. And I want to encourage you all to please continue to watch me. I know I'm a little all over the place right now, but I hope that you can still find my content engaging and entertaining. And just know that I am doing my due diligence. I am researching to learn more and more about YouTube, understand this platform and what's expected of me as a content creator, as well as understand that there are skills required in order to do this well, skills that I wasn't necessarily born with. I need to learn more about videography. I need to learn as much as I can about editing. And as I learn more, you will see positive changes. You will see the impact on my channel. So y'all, please continue to watch. I know I'm all over the place right now. You know, the ideas that I started out with initially in the way I set my page up doesn't necessarily reflect the direction that I want to go. So I know that I'll be making some changes at the beginning of the year. But I know that those are changes that you'll love, because you'll be able to expect something more consistent from me, not only in the content, but also in the way that it's presented to you. Thank each and every one of you. I'm so far away from 1,000, nowhere near several hundred thousand, but for every 204 individuals who have subscribed, please understand that I really appreciate it, because you have started here with me. You started here on my journey, and I fully intend for you to be here until the end, because I'm only going to get better. Please stay subscribed to Keisha's Crumbs. Continue to like and share, and I will continue to be here for you. No decisions have been made. And then people gonna be drunk. Some people gonna be drinking. Some people gonna be drunk. No, it's gonna be her mama. You take the cake and put it in the pot. Okay, so you all know that I always pre-soak my meat, especially my pork, in a vinegar and salt bath. So this slab of ribs have been soaking for about 45 minutes to an hour. And at this point, I've taken them out of the vinegar bath and I've rinsed the slab off. And now I'm drying the slab off with a paper towel. You just want to dab it, dab it, dab it, and make sure there's not excess water remaining. Now we're going to prepare to slice the ribs up, y'all, because of course if you want to fry them, then you want to already have the bones sliced up. So I'm showing you how, if you've never sliced your ribs raw, you would do it in the same manner you would with them being cooked. Look at where your bones are. If you look at the tip of that slab, you can see where each bone is. Now, these aren't spare ribs. These are actually St. Louis style. I normally fry spare ribs, but I wanted to try the St. Louis style, and they turned out pretty nice because they're meaty. And so they fried up really well. As you can see, I did leave the membrane on the back. If I were smoking or barbecuing this meat, I would have removed the membrane. But because I want the ribs to remain juicy, and for the flavor and the moisture to stay intact with us doing a deep fry. That's why I chose to leave the membrane on, and I think that was a great decision. So again, if you just look at the tip of the slab of ribs, you can see where each bone is. You can also take your knife and just tap, tap, tap along the length of the slab, and you'll be able to tell where the bones are. And you're simply gonna cut where you know there's soft tissue. In between each rib is soft tissue, and that's where you want to slice. So as you can see, this meat cut up beautifully. I will tell you that it is also cutting as easily as it is because I did that vinegar pre-soak. Look how beautiful this pork is. Pork, the other white meat. I know it may be bothering some of y'all that I'm actually stirring this meat up instead of using my hands, although I have on gloves, but I just like to keep my hands as clean as possible, even though they're gloves, so you'll see why in the end. Okay, so you all have seen me use Tony's. You're going to see me use Morton. You're going to see me use some Weber seasoning. And I'm going to mix those seasonings all around. And then I'm going to actually finish the seasoning off or top it off with the Oooo-We KG. So normally I don't use this many different seasonings. I got a little excited because I was about to fry ribs, and we only do this a couple of times a year. So I went ahead and layered in those other seasonings. And again, I'm going to finish with the Oooo-We. So when you are using your Oooo-We KG with other seasonings, use the Oooo-We as as like a flavor enhancer, as like an accent, okay? Finish it off with the Oooo-We KG, whether you're frying something, seasoning for fry like this, seasoning for baking, even if you had like a pot of stew, a pot of beans, go ahead and layer in your favorite seasonings first if you want to use other seasonings, because you don't have to. But if you insist on using other seasonings, always finish it off with the Oooo-We KG. Now, what we're doing is we're going in with this Louisiana chicken fry. So you all will see that I don't fry very often. So a lot of times when I do, I'll use a Louisiana brand chicken fry and or the Louisiana brand fish fry. It has a bit of seasoning in it as well. And what you all can do, whether it's a seasoning or something like a coating for a fry or something like that, is just taste it. Always taste the dab of your seasoning. And this is where I'm showing you, see how clean my gloves are even after I finish all of that seasoning. That was my whole point. I don't like to touch my appliances, my counters, my utensils with dirty hands. But anyway, I love the Louisiana chicken fry and the Louisiana fish fry. So if you all haven't tried it before, make sure you try it out. Again, it's lightly seasoned, so make sure you taste your seasonings, taste your batters. It won't hurt you. That's the best thing to do, to make sure you don't over season your food. If it's something you've never used before, just put a dab of it on your fingertip and taste it, and that way you can adjust accordingly. So at this point, I've just seasoned my water for my macaroni. That's what I use the pink Himalayan salt on. This larger pot has the oil in it for the ribs. Now I have something to tell you about that oil. Do you see how it's bubbling up like it's water in it? Just wait until I tell you about that. Y'all, we are making a semi-homemade macaroni and cheese, and I promise you, I have never done this before in my life, but I'm so glad I did. So, this Kraft Deluxe has white cheddar and garlic and herbs, and the Great Value Deluxe brand was Gouda. It had Gouda in it. Make sure you stay tuned to see how we did that macaroni. But do you all see how this oil is reacting? I knew that it must have had some water in it. So at some point, somebody put some water in my oil. I was filling the pan up over the sink, and I think someone went in the kitchen and mistakenly put oil in the water. That's why I was bubbling so hard. So I ended up having to switch. Look at it. Look at how it's bubbling. Lord, y'all should have heard it. It bubbled so hard. It was like it was gonna blow the top, blow the lid off the pot. And I finally just see that's why I'm holding it down. And I finally had to just change the pot out. It was so discouraging after heating up the oil, waiting all of that time, and then having to take it off the eye and just start over with a fresh pot of oil. But anyway, here's my second pot. So let's get the party started. This is another batch of oil I'm putting in a new pot. So here you have the ribs, you have the oil for the ribs, and then on the end is the boiler for the macaroni and cheese, in which I've put a little olive oil in there and some pink Himalayan salt. Okay, so now you can see how beautifully these fried up. Now keep in mind these are St. Louis style ribs. Normally I fry spare ribs, but I would say if you're frying ribs for the first time, start with St. Louis style because you don't have that end cap of extra um tissue and cartilage that's on the spare rib. A lot of times it will be more difficult to make that tender. So a St. Louis style rib is just a little more tender by nature itself. So start with St. Louis style if you're gonna try out fried ribs, but they turned out delicious. Shay ain't taking, ain't none of my children gonna be in Bastrop at 2 o'clock in the morning, baby. Forget about it. Well, I don't know. You better pray and let me think about it. No decisions have been made. And then people gonna be drunk. Some people gonna be drinking. Some people gonna be drunk.
No, it's gonna be at her mama's house.
It's gonna be the holidays.
She only invite, her mama says she's gonna be like 5 people over there.
Okay. Don't harass me, okay? I heard what you said.
Might be at work, man. For all I know.
What else am I look? Oh, we gotta go on the popcorn aisle. Come on. Excuse us. You come on. Oh, you know what? Online. What is this aisle?
That's where cereal.
Hot cereal spice. Mila had the Oreos with the red cream in it. You heard me, Joe? Mila had Oreos with red cream in it, and I haven't seen those here.
Oreos with red cream.
The Christmas edition. See, I mean, it's just like Oreos. No, it's not a different flavor. They even have dark chocolate. They have Oreo, Java. They have peanut butter. Ooh, chocolate hazelnut. My God. Mint. Birthday cake. Toffee crunch. They got everything but the red cream. That is bananas, dude. That's bananas. Y'all forgive my outfit. I literally just threw this on to go to the store and to cook. So I'm looking a wee bit, just a tad bit raggedy, baby. Just a tad bit. Here we have our extra jumbo shrimp. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to barbecue these or fry them, but it had already been a long night, so I decided to butterfly and fry them. You will see that I'm taking a very sharp knife and just cutting the back of the shrimp, slitting it down the back, and removing the membrane from the back. Now they're all clean. Okay, you're gonna see me create a two-step batter from this Louisiana fish fry. I'm sorry I omitted it from the video. But here, the wet mixture you see me pouring onto the shrimp, I'm using that as my wet batter. But all I did, y'all, was I took the Louisiana fish fry and you add water or milk to it. Once you add water or milk, that will be used as your wet batter. You put that on your shrimp first. Then you turn around and you dredge those same shrimp in just the dry mix itself. And that way you've created a two-step batter from this one dry mix. Dropping crumbs, baby. So at this point, I've set the shrimp to the side with the wet batter on it. Remember that dredge is seasoned, so it's acting as a marinade. I set them to the side while I boiled the macaroni. Remember, we're about to make a semi-homemade macaroni. Stay tuned for it, y'all. It was amazing. Okay, so I just had to stop the press for a second. Remember, I took the dry mix, added some milk, changed it into a wet batter, and added that to the shrimp. Set the shrimp to the side and let that sit on as a marinade because it is seasoned. Now I've gone and I've taken the Louisiana dry mix again and just added it straight to the shrimp. So now I have that two-step mixture. I started out with the wet mix and then I'm going to add it as a dry mix and then I fried it. So you can see that it fried up beautifully. I'm sorry I missed recording that. Now let's get started with this semi-homemade macaroni. So what you see me doing is I have a casserole dish and I have basically added some olive oil. You can also add butter to the casserole dish so your macaroni won't stick. And then I am seasoning it. So let's start there. As you can see, I didn't go too crazy with the seasoning. I did add garlic powder this time, so I'm going to give you my review on the garlic powder at the end. But this is my first time making a semi-homemade macaroni and my first time adding seasonings like garlic powder. I've never ever done that before. Ooh-We, y'all, this is the Kraft Deluxe. You see it, no artificial dyes, no artificial flavors. White cheddar cheese sauce. Here we go. Now the Great Value didn't have anything on its silver pack, but remember it was the white cheddar with the garlic, and then we had the Gouda as well. So one of them was white cheddar and garlic, and one of them was Gouda. So now I'm actually going in with the cheese mixture from the Deluxe Max packs. And this was actually just like dried up garlic with some seasonings because I tasted it. So I knew it had a little bit of salt in it, but it's mostly dried garlic. Now you see me going in with my specialty cheeses. One of them has the Swiss and the Gruyere, but before I add them, to really give it the southern baked macaroni and cheese texture, you can see that I'm adding an egg. That's going to bring our casserole together, as well as I'm going in with some heavy whipping cream. That's going to add extra creaminess. It's going to make it extra smooth and just help the shredded cheese and the cheese from the store-bought packs meld together really well. So what I'm adding in is some more white cheddar, thickly cut Alpine blend. And then I'm also going to add in some Swiss and Gruyere that has been mixed. Gruyere is a really, really smooth and creamy cheese, really mild in flavor. So I added that as well. And then at the end, I decided to add in just a tad bit of mozzarella. You have to be careful with mozzarella because too much of it can make it rubbery, can make the cheese rubbery as it cools. But if you add just the right amount, it will give you that perfect cheese pull. Now we're going to finish the top off with a cheddar blend. Not too much. I don't like to put too much cheese in my macaroni, so just enough to give us a beautiful crusty top. And we're going to stick her in the oven covered on 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. And then we're going to check it and uncover it for the last 5 or 10 minutes just to make sure our topping gets
That's right. You
really
see the title.
baking.
You don't want a husband, it's your business. But this is how to prepare a plate for your future husband. Because if we want one, we're going to prepare for one. You see how crunchy and crispy and clean that shrimp is. It must be clean, honey. It must be clean. And I know you saw that creamy macaroni in the beginning, baby. If it's supposed to be creamy, make sure it's creamy. If it's supposed to be clean, make sure it's clean. What about these fried ribs, y'all? St. Louis style. It's supposed to be crunchy. Make sure it's crunchy. Okay? And then you stole the real clean plate. Again, clean is a thing. That don't look right. Make sure it look right. Men eat with their eyes and a lot of other things too. So make sure you lay everything out supposed to be laid out. Prop some things up supposed to be propped up and put them shrimp up there. Make sure they curly and tight. And then you're not gonna go heavy with the carbs, honey. You don't want to put your husband in comatose. You want to make sure it's just right. Slather it down with be little smacklicious hot sauce. Sprinkle on some Oooo-We KG. He gonna say Oooo-We, that's smack.